Woohoo! I'm live. I am so excited to be alive. Welcome to Free Coaching Friday. It is Friday, August 2nd, and I really am so excited to be here. If you have been following me at all, we've been doing, I'm saying stands today because I usually have Miss Daniela with me. We've been doing this for over a year now, and I've got so many amazing things I want to share with you guys, but I want to stay focused, right? And I'm actually wearing like the shirt. It says, "Where focus goes, energy flows." And that's really what I want to talk about today. If you are joining me, I would love for you to just drop a hello in the comments. This is your first time on one of my lives. Welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So I'd love to send you some love. So if you're getting anything out of it, drop me some hearts, drop me some loves, because I go for the applause, right? No, just kidding. But I will say that going for focus and where to put your attention and intention are absolutely probably one of the most critical things you can do for yourself. And see, this girl here, I'm on backwards. My thing's flipped. So I'm like, when I move left, it goes right. So see that beautiful tail swishing right there? That's Bella. And if you've ever done like a disc profile or Myers-Briggs or Enneagram or any of that kind of stuff, you can understand what like different person how important understanding different personality types are. Who here understands that we're not all introverts or extroverts, right? We all have what do you think I am, an introvert or an extrovert? I think I am a Bella. There she is, that cute little butt. And I am. So if you go to my website, you can take my quiz. It'll like kind of pop out. It is a fun little thing to do to understand who you are. But once you understand that, you got to understand what your superpowers are. And if you're scrolling through Instagram or you're on social media or you're listening to the news or you're listening to anyone, a lot of people will have their value systems based on their personality types, their beliefs, their what have yous to tell you what you should be focusing on and how you should live your life, which actually is going to bring me to something that I hope I don't cry. I might cry, but here we are. I will be 50 in 2 weeks, almost exactly 2 weeks. And I haven't been really connected with my father for the last 10 years since my brother passed away of a drug overdose. And I had a really beautiful conversation with my mom this morning, and it's tapped me into understanding focus at almost a spiritual level. Because if you think about things like the story of Jonah and the whale, if you remember that story, he's in the belly of the whale. He's actually in the belly of the beast because he ran away from what he was supposed to be focused on by God's word, not by man's word. And I think, and then I don't know, I'm bringing up Bible stories today, but it makes me also think of like the prodigal son, and that's kind of where I've been. It's like I've been in Florida for 20 years now. 20 years. I've been here since 2005. So I guess, sorry, 19, but a long time. And what's really made me think about is like, why do we go down these paths? And when you are feeling a certain way, what you need to do to focus on something to allow you to feel a different way, right? If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, it's not because you don't know what to do. It's because you don't know what to focus on. And if you, when, and I said, and I wrote, posted earlier, are you focusing on your bliss? Are you following your bliss? And bliss would be the creation of heaven on earth, right? Now that doesn't mean you don't do hard things. Like, Jonah, he was supposed to tell the people, the bad people, that they were doing bad things. And he was like, well, shouldn't you just smite them, God? And he's like, no, you need to do this. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go over here and do this other thing. Right? I'm not going to follow God's will. I'm going to follow man's will or my will. And that's what I think about, because my dad's not really happy with the fact that I chose to live the life that the way I chose to live it. But I can say I apologize to my father, but not the father, because it's about following source energy. It's about whatever your belief system is. If you're Christian, it doesn't matter. Source, creator, universe, God, what have you. You are feeling bad, depressed, angry, frustrated, all these things. It's because energy, alignment, source, God is trying to tell you, hey, look over there. And I was having a great conversation with my friend Misty yesterday, and we were talking about just like just look up, right? Like when you're looking down, you're looking at what's on your plate, but when you're looking up, you can see the entire buffet. Problem is that when you do that as a Bella, you have to listen to source. You have to align, or you will lose focus. And when you lose focus as a Bella, and I'm a mega Bella, I'm like one of those, like, I don't know what to focus on today. I don't know what to do today. I don't know how to feel today, but I don't feel like this, right? But when you put your head up and you see the whole buffet rather than the certainty that's in front of you, you go, whoa, I had no idea it could be like this. And you start tapping into your bliss, and you start tapping into a feeling of not only expending a lot of energy, but having it be like a laser instead of a prism. Wow, we all love the rainbow. But when we're going somewhere, we don't want to be all swirled out, right? And then you'll end up like flat meat. But think about what you're focusing on. That's the key piece. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on what you can control? This is a great what you can control, what you can't control. I can't control what my father does any more than he can control what I do, right? But I can't control that. So if you cannot control it, detach, right? Detach from the things you can't control. And then what can you control? Really not a lot, except the one thing that matters is your free will and your ability to align with source, how you respond to what's going on around you, how you react to the triggers that show up, and if you're coming from cause or if you're coming from effect. If you have a broken leg, the story of how you got there is cause. The broken leg is the effect. Which one are you focusing on? Right? Are you focusing on the past? Are you focusing on what happened last week, last year, last month? Are you focusing on what happened 30 years ago? I'll never forget. I was at a Tony Robbins experience, and there was a woman there that was still beating on her husband for cheating on her 34 years ago. And he was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you focusing on the past? The other thing too, we could talk about, if you really like, we do talk about, like, when you come here, if any of you that are interested in coming to Florida and experiencing this, I suggest you do it now. And there's a reason I say this. I am hosting about a half dozen retreats this fall. And I definitely, if you want to be here, do it now. So, and I'm running great deals on them right now for my birthday month. Anyway, there's my sales pitch. But check out my retreats, because that's one of the things we really talk about. It's like, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on your past? We don't hear the story of what happened yesterday, because you can actually rewrite that. Because have you ever remembered something and then somebody else remembers it differently, and you're like, oh, you're right. It was that roller coaster and not the water park. You know, you don't even remember what you had yesterday for lunch, much less what happened 34 years ago, to so much of a degree that you beat on your partner for it, right? So you focus on what you can control, what you can't control. And so focusing on the past, the present, or the future. Now, it's good to kind of have like a horse. It's good to have them sort of like back on their hindquarters, right? So you see all the dressage horses and the thing and the Olympics that are going on right now. You see those horses, and in order to get those big jumps, guess what? They have to rock back a little bit. So it's okay to look forward to the future, because that's where you're going, but you don't want to overdrive your headlights. You don't want to overdrive your headlights and put yourself in a position where you're so focused on the future that you're catastrophizing on what is likely to, or what's likely or potentially or probably will happen, right? And it's interesting, because that's when you do that, that is how you recreate and drag your past into your future. That's how you recreate your past for your present, by focusing too much on the future. Now you got to focus on a little, you got to be like ready to make that leap. But the key piece is to really deeply understand at what degree, when do you lean in, and when do you stay absolutely present? When do you look up and go, oh, That's where we're going. It's just to check, it's just to check your dials, guys. It's just to check your instruments, right? To check your, are you at the right altitude? Are you on the right trajectory? Is that, are we going the right way? And be right, and then be right back, right? And we say it in horses, ride every stride. And one of the, I never got the great opportunity or the great privilege to ride with the great dressage instructor Walter Zettel. But one of the things I would hear him say as I was working at the ranch was, "Up in heaven, my dear, look up, ride up into the heavens, ride like an angel." And what he meant was like, look up and forward, right? Look up and forward, and that's the key piece. Stay and ride every stride and be seated and rooted and grounded, but look up. And then they do a documentary or a documentary, Jennifer Lawrence movie, like Don't Look Up. Like, it's important that you do, but it's also important that you stay grounded right here in the present. So, what are those three things? Which one? Notice that I didn't say too much about looking at the past, like almost none of it. You know, it's, if there's anything that you can take from it, take it, pack it. But I have a rule, and this is a little foreshadowing. And if any of you that follows me throughout the rest of this month, you'll look back at this video and go, "Oh, she did tell us what was about to happen." You know, so you know, if I have something where I'm making a move and I move from one house to another, if I've had that, whatever it is, and I never used it between moves because I move around a lot, I throw it or give it or sell it. Like that's, like that stuff doesn't, I don't drag those sorts of pieces of that no longer serve me. Now, if it's still serving me, for sure. My essential oils, they'll go with me everywhere. I have over 257 different essential oils and I use them for my horses. I use them for myself. I use them every day. Oh, holy heck yeah, because they bring me so much joy. But if I have so little use for you that I haven't thought about you or needed you or connected with you in the time that I've been from one place to another, you're in my past. You're fired, right? Like remember that old The Apprentice? You're fired, right? You're fired. You're done. No malice, no ill intent. Just time to move on, right? And then it's really also to understand if you're focusing on the past, the present, or the future, what you can control or what you can control, and you're focusing on solutions, or if you're focusing on the problem. Are you focusing on the solution? Or are you focusing on the problem? Are you focusing on what you have or what you don't have? And that's the last big piece. Are you focusing on what you have? Like what is on your plate? Are you focusing on the fact that there's not very much on your plate? Because we always have enough. We always have enough. We are always enough, right? Taking the next natural step. If you're trying to take too big a step, focusing too far onto the future, you're going to fall into a space where you feel like there's too many logistics. You get caught up in the how, and you're looking at what you don't have versus what you do. Good to have a big vision and a big dream, right? But you have to put on your inner child for that conversation. And though when you have those conversations, that's when you go and sit on Santa's lap. Now, don't be weird and creepy. You know what I mean. When you go and sit on, you order it up like a 4-year-old. That's when you look up, and there's going to be cotton candy machines, and then we're going to have a jungle gym made out of Jello. That's when you order it up, right? Big vision, baby steps. It should be baby's vision, big steps, because as an adult, we have to take those next steps. You don't want your inner child running your business. You don't want your inner child driving your Ferrari. You want your inner child enjoying you as you drive your Ferrari, right? So thinking about those things and putting them into a space where you can understand, what are you focusing on? And if you're feeling a certain way, a negative emotion, or feeling a way that you don't want to feel, then ask yourself, am I in alignment? Is what I'm focusing on in alignment with the next natural step I need to take for my purpose, my soul's purpose, God's purpose on this earth? Good stuff, guys. And for me, the one constant has been these guys. No matter where I've been in my life, These guys have been through my divorce, my homelessness. They've been through death with me. These guys are the one constant for me. You can't ignore that kind of stuff. If it's dogs for you, great. If it's kids for you, great. If it's oysters, awesome. Whatever your passion is, pick it and stick it. Pick with it and stick with it. Like the one thing I would never give up. Not these specific horses, because all right, naturally I will outlive them, but horses. Horses. They speak to me in such a deep, deep way. These animals, we didn't ride into battle on dogs. Like, no, no, nothing. I love you, canine units, love you. But they plowed our fields, they fought our wars, they carried our families. These animals created our civilizations alongside us. And they don't call it horsepower for nothing. And I have like incredible horse powered retreats that I offer here in South Florida this fall. There's only 5 retreats left for this season. And who knows what's going to happen next season? More to come on that. So if you're interested in coming and visiting me in person, please reach out. You can always go to my website, but messaging me directly is the best way to get in touch with me. And if you're watching this video, thank you for joining me. And to remember to believe in yourself. It will change your life. Stay focused, my Bellas. Have a